So maybe you can talk a little bit about the importance of our involvement first, because I know we kind of ended with that, is that these teachers can't do it all. And what can we as parents, what perspective do we need to have coming in using these types of programs?
So that's the first important thing, is just like in your homeschool situation, even if you're a public school mom or, you've got kids that are going to classes, you are still responsible for helping them be successful there, right? You send them with their clothes on, you send them with their school supplies, you send them with their, tummy full of food and ready to learn, a good night's sleep, all that stuff, right? So the same is true for any kind of experience. You want to equip your child and empower them to have a good time there. Just very much like this curriculum. If your kid's having a good time with whatever, just in the environment, then they're going to be alert. They're going to be paying attention. They're going to be curious about what's going on. If it's too much, if they're, fight or flight, then they're going to, withdraw from it. And again, with any experience, you want your kiddo to get the most out of it. You want them to say, bye, mom. I'm so good here. I'm learning without you. And you acknowledge the fact that I get it. This is time that you've given up. You've given away to someone else to care for your child. And again, the first step is making sure that it's the right place, that they're getting a good experience. So the main thing is that they're happy, they're having a good time, all of that. So all of that is, the most important, just to really have your child enjoy it and then understand what they're teaching. They're going to tell you, here's our curriculum, here's what we're doing, here's what we're getting. See it for what it is. Accept it for what it is. It might be more limited than what you want your child to learn. Then you know that you're going to have to provide the extra. It could be better than you ever expected. And they're going to teach my kid this and this and this and this. Then you're going to have to learn from them. Right? Because if they are experts and they are intending through this school year for your kid to develop these skills, then they're going to expect you to help them at home to get those things going. So the first step is to really communicate about expectations, because this idea of getting your kid caught up, somebody expects them to work hard, try hard, and get better, because that's the only way it's going to happen for them to move from point A to point B. They expect your child to show up ready to put in effort. Okay. And so the first thing you do is you find out what is expected. What kind of effort are you expecting of my child? What's he expected to do when he shows up here? And then you help facilitate that. And see, first of all, to begin with, is this something my child can do? Do they expect your child to sit and your child never sits? Then you're going to have a problem if it's that basic. If they expect your child to do whatever, then you're going to have to let them know. I see that you expect kids to sit for half an hour. At home, my kid hasn't sat for 5 minutes. How are you going to get him to sit? Because if you want him to do this, what are you going to do? Because they might give you a response that you love. You're like, wow, that works. I'm going to learn from you and do it. Or they could have a method that you don't like, and you want to catch that right away. So either way, you want to know, what are they going to do? Exactly. And if you're not there, you definitely want to know. But if all possible, you want to see it with your own eyes. Go there, sit there and watch, because again, they've already talked to you at their evaluation about these are our goals. We're getting these done. I want to see how you're doing it. I want to watch how you're doing it, because again, in a half hour a week, your kiddo's not going to make significant gain. They need you to do the work at home. And so sit in on the session, and if at all possible, get the last 10 minutes from the therapist to just talk to you. Ask them questions about the things your kid's doing at home that you want to stop, or the thing that your kid's not doing that you want them to learn. They are your resource. Tell them, I really wish my kiddo would do this at home. I tried. But you have to bring information. You can't just say, tell me how to make my kid talk. It has to be specific to your problem.
Right. Yeah, especially if you only have 10 minutes. That's
right. Yeah. He every time he's done drinking, he whips his cup on the floor. And that, I can't stand that. And it's making my house full of juice. How do I make that stop? That's the kind of question that you can ask, because they should be able to give you a strategy that you are going to try. Now, is that strategy going to work the first time? Maybe not the second time, the third time, but you try it over trial and error over the week. And by the next week, then it's your responsibility to go back and say, I did it. I tried it. This was my result. Tell me what to do next. Because
that's feedback as well for them.
With 50, 60 kids on their caseload or whatever, all those kids they've got to do, that they aren't going to keep track of that for you. That's your job, is to say, all right, this is the skill I need to have it successful at home. We're working on it here at the school or therapy. How can I get this happening? And again, if the therapist doesn't, sometimes they have privacy rules or guidelines or things like that. I don't have time to talk to you. I don't have time, whatever. That's when you should work it into your plan from the very beginning. If it's not going to be, then can we have a weekly email? Can I connect with you? Because it's not a negotiable. It shouldn't be a negotiable, this connection time with your child's therapist. It never should be negotiable. Always insist on it. Because
I think just many of the therapists is what I've heard from a lot of people who have been involved in both private therapy and the school therapy, is that they just feel like their hands are tied with the things that they have to do. And a lot of times there are parents that don't want to hear. And so a lot of them have just stopped sharing.